Welcome back, folks, to our playthrough of the career mode here in NASCAR Heat 2. So, if you've been with me for the last couple of videos, probably two or three, I've started to allude to a few different things that are going on as we get ready to end the regular season and approach the playoffs in our first career season in the trucks. And one of those things is I mentioned how there's excitement that we're getting ready for the playoffs, but then there's also that apprehension. And the apprehension is because a lot of the playoffs are on bigger tracks, mile and a half, 2 mile type tracks. And this is talked about quite a bit in NASCAR. And everybody knows that if you want to ultimately have a shot at the title, your mile and a half program has to be on point. You have to be extremely strong there. And of course, we all know that the finale of the season is at Homestead, which is a mile and a half track. So, what does that do for us? Well, because of our handicaps, our mile and a half track isn't very strong right now. Now, don't get me wrong, we have opportunities for top fives and top tens, but that's not what it's going to take to win these playoffs. We're going to, in order to win, assuming that everything goes great for us and we're able to make it all the way through to Homestead. So let's assume best case scenario here. We make it through to Homestead as one of the final four that will race for a championship. If that happens, we're at a mile and a half, and really the way it's been going for us, our best opportunity is for about a top five. And I don't think that's going to win us a championship. So there's a lot of apprehension for me right now. Is this going to work out? Now, either way, I am absolutely thrilled with how things have turned out. We've got more victories than I would really like to have. Ultimately, I would like to see us struggle more for top fives and top tens than we've had to in a lot of places. But in the mile and a halves, well, we know going back a little bit further to Michigan, a 2 mile track, we struggled at Michigan because we simply didn't have the horsepower to run up front for a top five or a victory there. But then if you look at the mile and a halves, we have opportunities for top fives and top tens, but how is that going to translate at Homestead? So I'm very excited. Now, why do I bring all this up right now? Because we're not at Homestead. Who knows? We might not even make it to Homestead with a chance for the championship. The reason I'm doing it now is because this is our final race before the playoffs start, and it's at a mile and a half track. We're going to Chicagoland. Now's the time where we're going to find out what can we do on the mile and a half. This is yet another opportunity and really our last chance to fine tune before the playoffs. So let's go. Let's see what we've got. All right, folks, here we go. We are at Chicagoland, our final opportunity to tune up before the playoffs start. Chicago is very much wide open for the trucks, and I'm trying to give these guys room because I'm not exactly sure how they're going to run this place. Are they going to run it wide open, or are they not? So we're going to find out. All right, so I'm running a little bit of a different setup. Different as in it's different for what I normally would run in the trucks at a mile and a half. Just playing around with some different things. One of the things that I really love in racing is testing out different things to see how it works, how it feels compared to what I've been using, all that kind of stuff. It's one of the things that really keeps me going. Particularly in this game. All right, so far so good. We seem to be doing pretty good here. So we started back around mid-pack, and we've definitely got some speed. We're going to see what kind of speed we ultimately have and how far toward the front of this pack can we get. Now, right now we're running, the extreme high groove. And that is not going to last forever because once we get toward the front of the pack, they'll be running faster lap times, and running that high around the track simply won't work because we're running wide open, so a wider arc around the track is only going to slow us down. So far, so good. We are encroaching on the top 10. 17 laps to go. Looks like I can see the leader out in front of us out there. Looks like he's got a little bit of a lead. But yeah, right now, truck is handling great. So no complaints there. We'll have to see how it does when we get around some of the faster trucks that are running more of our speed. Have to see how I'm able to maneuver and all that type of thing around them. But so far, so good. No worries about holding it wide open. We might have a flinch here. Nope, he's going to get down out of the way. Okay, John Hunter was running 3 wide there, and I was thinking he might, if we come up on him and he's 3 wide, that won't be good. All right, let's see if we're able to clear these guys in turns 3 and 4. All right, so far, let's see if they're going to give us some room. Well, so far they are. That could change at any moment. Hope it doesn't, though. All right, so far, even up this far into the field. Oh, there we go. He decided we didn't need quite that much room, so he took it away from us and ran us into the wall there, but we're okay. So we're up to 8th. And now you can see everybody's sort of getting strung out. We've run a few laps now, and we've moved toward the front of the pack, so that's where it's really going to start to test us and see what kind of speed we ultimately have in this truck. Now remember, we have momentum right now, and that momentum is giving us extra speed. Hopefully we'll have momentum when we get to Homestead, but we'll have to wait and see how that actually turns out. All right, so now the question that is upon us at this point is, can we stick to the outside and continue to make passes? Or have we reached the point where we're going to have to go to the bottom? All right, we are out here. Nope, he's not going to give us room, nor should he. And actually, we're still making up. Ooh, I had to lift right there. Grant Enfinger was doing some things I wasn't really comfortable with. All right, can we keep going? Yeah, it looks like the drafting effect is getting us now, because these guys are ganging up on us on the straightaways. So what we really need to have happen is to be able to get down to the bottom, because we're not fast enough for sure to beat these guys in drafting formation. So I'm going to need to, all right, we got a good run on Enfinger here. Let's see if we can clear him. If we cannot, all right, we cleared him. Now there's single file. I think we've got enough for him if we stick to the outside, run this second groove. Can we clear him? We are extremely close. We've got to be very close to clearing that 32 truck. All right, we got him this time. Okay, so we did have the speed to hang out there for now. Now we're running 3rd and Truex. Now think of the type of truck that Truex must have, because he's got a line of 4, 5, 6 trucks behind him that are all drafting, and he was able to pull away from them and stay there. So not bad at all. Very strong. All right, so now we're going to see if we can close in on Truex. Thought he was going to give me a groove at the bottom, so he didn't. Give him a little love tap, just to let him know we're here. All right, so you can see we're getting a big run on him. I'm going to try to get to his inside. Yeah, there we go. So he can't close the door on us going in this next corner. There we go. So now the question becomes, do we have enough time and speed to catch the leader? 8 laps to go. So far we've had plenty of speed to spare. Let's go ahead and click on A couple of times and see that we have Austin Cindric out front, 3.2 seconds. So let's follow along with that and see if we're able to make any inroads into that. right, took off a couple of tenths in that corner. He stretches it out just a little bit on us on the straightaway, which is what I would expect. All right, yep, we didn't gain anything that time around through that set of corners, so Austin Cindric has a good bit of speed at the front of this pack. And I am basically turning the steering wheel the least amount I can get by with in the corners. And you can see we're basically not gaining on him at this point. And there is no more speed for me to get. I set up the gearing. I could have gotten, a little bit different gear. I set up the gearing for traffic. So that's hurting us a little bit here. Probably taking away a little bit of speed. Ooh, we hit that felt like a pothole that I just hit coming off the corner. And yeah, we're not able to make up any room at all on him right now. We're just holding serve with it. So that's actually encouraging to me. I like to see that because that means that, the things that we're doing, these handicaps that we're putting in place are having the desired effect. We were able to get through the field, but we cannot get to the leader. So you can see we gain a little bit here and there, a tenth here, then he gains it back. Yes, I am very encouraged by this. I think I'm spending more time at this point looking at the 2.9 seconds that we're behind, looking at that graphic, than I am actually watching the racetrack. All right, so we gained another tenth on him. I wish I could say that was because of maybe tire wear or something like that, but unfortunately this game really doesn't seem to model tire wear. I've actually done, I would love it if it did. In fact, that's one of the great things about NASCAR Racing 2003 is that it modeled, in some cases, a lot of tire wear, depending on the track. And that made it lots of fun because the way your car or truck drives at the very beginning of a run is not the same way it's going to drive at the end of the run, forcing you to make adjustments in both your use of the throttle, the brakes, steering, and all that kind of stuff, which I absolutely love. Unfortunately, this game does not get that in depth. Now, that's not to say that it doesn't have tire wear. If you look at the tire wear percentages, they definitely go down. The amount of tire left is definitely going down. In fact, let's go ahead and pull that up. You can see I'm at 85%, 88, 87, in there. That will continue to go down. Of course, we're going to run out of laps here very shortly, but that will continue to go down. That's not the problem. The problem is, as that continues to go down, our grip level basically stays the same. You're running, I still am in no danger of needing to lift at any point in the corner. I'm able to run around this place right now just the same as I could when we started. All right, so there's our second place finish. So yeah, I really wish they would put some tire wear in there and enable us to really experience that. That would be quite nice. But I understand at the same time why they probably haven't, because those racing on a controller, it could probably get pretty hairy on a controller to control a truck or a car that starts to lose grip. And in some cases, it can be quite dramatic from the beginning of a run, new tire, to the end of the run. All right, so we come home with a second place finish, which is great for us. Also great for Austin Cindric, who pulls out the victory. We'll take a look at the point standings here in just a moment, because these will be the final point standings of the regular season. Okay, let's go ahead and move on to that. And now you can see Austin Cindric, he is now 10th. But that is just the point standings. When we get back to the main menu, I'm going to try to pull up the point standings for for our purposes of the playoff, you saw that we had the fastest lap of the race, which tells us that we did have some speed. That was likely in traffic, though. All right. Oh, my goodness. I think I just went deaf. You've made the playoffs. Thank you for letting me know. Now I'm going to have an ear transplant if I'm ever going to hear again. Congratulations, Pit Gaming. You made the Camping World Truck Series playoffs. Yes, indeed, we did. Thank you very much, John Hunter. Someone better call the fire department. Oh. Unfortunately, as much as I love Aaron Rodgers, I think that commercial has run its course. But thank you, Myatt Snyder, for the kind words. All right, so let's see what else it's got in store for us. Hopefully, no more issues. Okay, looks like we're okay. No more flashy, very loud videos or anything. Okay, so I think we're good. Let's go ahead and back out for a second because let's see the playoff grid. Now we take a look and we see that it's an 8-man grid as opposed to the Cup, which obviously has the Cup division has much more cars at the beginning with 16. But because the trucks are a smaller series with particularly fewer full-time teams, then it's a little bit different there. So let's see what we've got. We start out with 8, and we're going to be whittling that down to 6, and then finally to 4 for Homestead. So right now we're going to start out 31 points ahead of the cutoff line. You can see that Austin Cindric and Stuart Friesen are at the very bottom and actually below the cutoff line as we stand now. But of course, we hadn't even gotten started in the playoffs. So that's how we're going to start. We, of course, have by far the biggest cushion over the cut line, and we'll take it. We'll take all the cushion we can get. If we've learned anything from what we've seen so far from Martin Truex, is that victories are a wonderful thing, but also when you have a big point cushion, it enables you to really take more chances and live on the edge a little bit more because you know you have that cushion. All right, so that's going to do it for our video this time. And now we come to the part of the season we've all been waiting for. We've done all the races. We've worked on the setups. We've done all of the preliminary stuff. It's time for the playoffs. And, oh, by the way, we have momentum. So this should get interesting. Come back next time when we'll get started in the playoffs. Thank you very much for joining me, and stay tuned for more NASCAR Heat 2.